Hi, Nana. Welcome to the platform. Tremendous honor to have you. Could you introduce
Thank
yourself,
you.
please?
Yeah, hi, I am McNaughtan. I am pursuing my law from Bhopal, Jagran Lake City University, and it's my final year.
Right. So the topic we are going to talk on is criminal insanity or legal insanity. So,
Yes.
could you distinguish between legal insanity and medical insanity?
Yeah, sure. So when we heard term insanity, what comes in our mind? Like the person is crazy, mad, or in a layman language, we say that the person is mad and pagal, like
Mm-hmm.
he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we sometimes also assume that the person who are into depression and the person who are taking medications, they are called uh, insane without any reason. But the thing is
Yeah.
that they are the one who is taking a therapy. They need to have that. So sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
call them a mental. But in legal insanity, what we see is the domain of
Mm-hmm.
insanity is very much higher. We can see that there are various mental disorders like autism, bipolar disorders,
Mm-hmm.
schizophrenia. These are the things where the person is not able to differentiate like
Mm-hmm.
what is happening with them, like kind of
Right.
a delusion thing is happening. So to plead that there is legal insanity,
Mm-hmm.
like the from like if a person is insane, like they are not enjoying their normal social life. For example, there are different kinds of person who are disabled, like even a psychiatrist in the medical terms are being used that the person is 40% disabled, 30% disabled and not able to catch up. We see that there are various different types of schools for those people also who are kind of
Right.
insane, but that doesn't mean them fully insane, like they know what is happening around them, they are not in
Mm-hmm.
that way. So they are under medical treatment, so we call them a medical insanity. But when you plea, like if a person has committed a crime, so they plea legal insanity, that no, the person didn't know what he is doing and all.
Mm-hmm.
But the magnitude and amount of legal insanity is very high, like in a situation when a
Right.
person has to be placed under direct supervision, where the person is not having a decision making powers in related to finance, that what is in my hand, what is the
Mm-hmm.
things what I'm going to do. So it is basically that things like physically also, and then there's sensile amnesia. So this is the way where a person is that the person's behavior is very impulsive. The person doesn't know what to do,
Mm-hmm.
what not to do. So in
Mm-hmm.
that case, the people plea what you say legal insanity, that the
Right.
person has, yeah.
Right. So, what is the criteria to determine if someone is legally insane?
To determine a person like is fully insane, basically legal insanity when we see is the person plea in a court.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in a court to plea a legal insanity, that no, the person was not aware, what is
Mm-hmm.
the first thing when we see a crime is committed, like the mens rea, right?
Right.
We
Right.
see what are the person's intention, what is the person's intention behind it, like why the person did it. Every
Mm-hmm.
time we look into things, we see that what was the motive, what
Right.
was the reason why the
Right.
person is doing this. So if a
Mm-hmm.
person is fully insane, he has nothing. Some people have bipolar disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have delusion that they are doing something else. Like I've heard that the person was about to cut a bread, but he cut a hand because he doesn't know what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine that these are the kind of also people who doesn't know what is happening, and that is why a proper care is being given to that person. That's why proper asylums and all are being
Mm-hmm.
made, and the proper care is being taken care of them, because they have no sense to
Yeah.
do things. And to determine that, if for example, if we take an example of a murder, what was the object? You just cannot plea that we are legal insane, because obviously there are psychiatrists. The court is not stupid there to see that
Mm-hmm.
if a person is playing that role.
Right.
Like sometimes what happens, like if a person has committed a crime, they see that okay, let's play legal insanity game in our favor. But that is also get caught, because there are psychiatrists, a report is to be submitted there, there's a proper due procedure is being followed. Like for example, if a person is convicted, then the your defense attorney will say that no, the person is legally insane, but now what? Now the rule will play, like the plaintiff has to give the uh, proof in criminal cases. But when if you are pleading that you are legally insane, now it is upon the accused to tell that, okay, I need to give a proof that I am legally insane. And for that, a proper procedure is being followed. Like, you need to apply to the court, and the court, upon on the discretion, will a psychiatric evaluation is being done to you to see that what is there, like and they will also see that whether you were insane when the crime was committed or not.
That's
And
very
for that,
important.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that is the main thing. Like, were
right.
you insane when you committed the crime, or were you
Mhm.
not?
So,
Like
what is the
that.
definition of insane during the commission of crime?
There's no proper definition. Like there is section 84 in IPC where
Mhm.
just one word is used, that the unsoundness of mind.
Okay.
That is the thing which is being used, that unsoundness of mind. And in the various legal play, that definition is being evolved, and the proper evaluation is being done. Like insanity, one is a very good rule which is called McNaughtan Rule, in
Right.
which a proper uh, two substances being followed. Like what were you at that time? Like was the accused in a state of unsoundness of mind at that time of point, or were he able to know the nature of what he is doing, like
Mm-hmm.
literally what he was doing, what was the state of mind? Like these two are the main principles of Norton Rule,
Mm-hmm.
right? And whether the person is playing medical insanity or legal insanity. And as I have told you, that the onus is to be on the accused to prove,
Mm-hmm.
and the it should be beyond reasonable doubt. You just cannot go to the court and say ki, no, I am legal insane. And there are some characteristics, as I've said to you, that the person should know what is the nature of the act,
Right.
right? Like the person should know, like the nature of the act. They know that what they are doing is right or wrong. You just cannot say that, okay, I was insane, I was in a delusion. But if you will hurt a person, they will get killed,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Norton Rule was like evolved like this way, that a person was about to kill someone, but they killed
Mm-hmm.
another person. It was the person was in a delusion.
Right.
The person wants to kill another person, but then they killed another person. It was said
Mm-hmm.
that he was delusion and he was mad. He was mad over an actress, and then the person wants to claim that actress, attention. So this is a
Right.
thing a normal layman man would not do.
Mm-hmm.
They know this is not a thing. So that's how this picture will come into a play. And
Right.
obviously our court procedures and all, they look like how a person is playing that. We have many cases where that say that okay, if you have hit a person, you have killed a person, but you have not gone away from the crime scene. This is not the only thing you need to see. You
Right.
also need to see. You cannot say ki, no,
Right.
I'm insane, that's why I killed a person. No,
Right.
that's not how it
Right.
happens.
Right.
Like you have not run away is not a criteria that you can say that, okay, I'm legally insane.
And I've also read that if you meticulously prepare for the crime scene, that you buy a gun with the intention of killing someone, and where there
Yeah.
is no witness, so you are in a state of mind to kill with the intention.
Yes, exactly. With a state of mind to kill someone. Like, but sometimes it happens that even we have heard a case where a woman have thrown her kids in a well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in a news that a normal woman would not do that. She was
Mm-hmm.
insane in a state of mind
Mm-hmm.
that it has happened. And in the other way, we also see that the people do rituals that in order to get a male son or kind of that thing, they sacrifice their other kids or something kind of that. So they are not insane. They are doing that in a what the someone has told them to sacrifice it. So you cannot
Mm-hmm.
claim that you are legally insane. No, you are in a mental state of mind. You know what you will do. So you cannot claim that, no, no, we are insane. You are doing this in a case of a ritual. So this is
Right.
not a case where you will play a game role that, no, we were insane and all. So you need to look into a broader picture. But the main thing is, what was your object, and what were your state of mind at the point of killing someone? Self defense is something different, but
Right.
insanity is kind of a different. You just
Mm-hmm.
cannot say that, no, I was drunk, I was intoxicated, I really don't know, I killed in my intoxication. No, even in that too, you know that you are killing someone. What will be the implications on you if you're killing someone at that point of time?
Could you elaborate intoxication and defense for insanity?
Defense in insanity, for example, like if a person has drank too much, that we have seen that the home crimes are happening, the domestic violence are happening in kind of that way. Like if you are being so intoxicated, but then too, you have drink it by your own will, even if by not your own will, then also that what is the implication of hitting someone with a rod, taking a gun, like what are the implications? No one is that much insane. And even the other, when we see that, if you talk about all these things, so the intention is the basic criteria you need to look behind.
Right.
And you just cannot escape it. You can never escape the intention and what was your motive, because these are the initial stages of the crime where you need to look into it.
What if a
Many.
person, sorry, please go on.
Yeah, say. No, I was just about to finish. Say.
What if a person is in a party and he has been forced, or without his consent he has been given liquor, and after that he commits a crime? So can he plead defense?
He can. Obviously, it is up to everyone that they can plead that yeah, I was intoxicated at that point of time. But it is also upon the judge discretion. Like judges play a very important role.
Right.
The person was intoxicated without a will, and this will not come under insanity. This is another defense.
Right.
Yeah, this is not a person was insane. This is a person was intoxicated and did a crime. That is, the person was not insane. He did it because he was given something. He was not insane. He was intoxicated.
Right.
This is the same way the self-defense and insanity, and the self-defense and intoxication, and the infants defense is all kind of a different thing.
Okay.
We can see.
Can you share a vivid example of an accused who got away with criminal insanity?
Got away with criminal insanity? Yeah, there were many English cases, and also there was one of the cases where a person has killed his wife with stone. Pelted stone, and it was kind of MP case only where I live. So he was yes, killed his wife with the stone pelted, and it was said that no, the person was already not intoxicated. The person was already a kind of mental illness was going in his family also, and he was insane since a very long time. So that's why this thing has happened. And the other case, it also happened that a person had set fire on a farmland, and when the people asked him why you did so, he was like, just my wish, I'm not liable to respond to anyone. So with his response, with his things, people get to know, no, the person is insane only.
Right. So when a person is acquitted with criminal insanity, how are they treated?
A person who is acquitted with criminal insanity, how are they treated? Obviously, it is depend upon which society you are from and how the other person perceives you. You also know that how people stigmatize people who are insane, right? Like, and also there are people who are insane, but they don't tell them. But we know that they are, because they always remain depressed. They doesn't speak, and they actually, the insane person are the one who literally need a kind of a therapy and more love and affection.
Right.
At that point of time.
If they're a danger to society, are they institutionalized by the judge?
No, they are not institutionalized by the judge, but the judge may provide protection and all. Because if a judge may see a case that, okay, the society may stigmatize you, which will happen in every case. Like, even if you are being you are accused, but you are like got free or on that way, it stigmatizes you in every way. It happens, like wherever you go, you cannot avoid it, like this thing is happening. But still, like when you see that the Johnny Depp was with Amber Heard and all, the people got in the starting, what happened, that they were like, no, he is wrong, but eventually things come out in the broader picture. So to be a part of it, you need to see and witness that, like we see that how people we like with insane, how they treat, but they need to be more empathetic and give more sympathy towards them. And that's why after a thing, people say that no, a person need a therapy, they need to be in asylum. Like if a person get to know that no, this person is insane, they are being given the treatment in asylums. There are different kind of asylums for them, or the other therapy. And sometimes they say that no, they need to be given a therapy at any cost.
Okay.
And sometimes, yeah, and sometimes there are people who willingly do this thing, like in a pro bono. That therapies are not come in a low cost. They are like hefty cost is involved in therapy and all. That is the one of the main reason people don't go there, because they know that they like nahi chalo anxiety hai, hum theek ho jayenge and all. No, it doesn't. That's how it gets built up, and it built up in a very longer way.
Mhm.
Like, they are the ones who need to be taken care of with proper care. And
Mhm.
even in asylums, they are being just given medication, but at the point of time, they also just need a person to talk and to share. And but also they need to be looking and taken care of 24 into 7, because you doesn't know what will happen. The the scariest thing of all is the bipolar disorder. You
Mhm.
never know what will happen. This is something like needs to be more addressed, like how are they harmful for us and to you, and how to taken care of them for society at large.
Right. So, is it necessary for someone to have a mental disorder to be declared legally insane?
Yeah, mental disorder is required. Like, obviously mental disorder is required, like a person is delusion, or the person is having disorder, or
Mhm.
like major depressing disorder, like a person who is always being closed in a room and doesn't talk to anyone, and is kind of a lunatic or kind of a depressed. These are the disorders. They are very scary disorders. If a person is not opening the door and is not talking to anyone, is
Mhm.
just in their bubble, so you get to know that no, the person is bit off and all. But
Mhm.
also the main thing for them is to treat them nice, just take them out, and even if they're not, just try to be more sympathetic and empathic towards them.
Yeah.
But mental disorder is a main thing which a
Okay.
person, and that also depends upon the magnitude of it. There are various psychiatrists, that's why they are there. That's why if a person is pleading to
Mhm.
be of they are like pleading like, no, my client, and no, this person is insane, they need to see what kind of disorder they are. A proper questioning is being asked, that where were you at that time and all these things. And their psychiatrists know how it is, and the major role in this of the psychiatrist, who know how to catch hold. That's why it is said that आप normal psychiatrist को एक ऐसी चीजें नहीं दे सकते हो, because an accused know how to play his things and
Right.
all. Yeah, that
Okay.
you just cannot give a normal psychiatrist that okay, you just evaluate it. They also need to give a proper evaluation report to the court, and minimum 3 psychiatrist report is required. That's why
Three
uh,
psychiatrists.
yeah, 3 psychiatrist report is being required, because what will happen that if you have bribed one,
Mhm.
that is also a very
Right.
high chances. So to be on the safer side, that as what I have read and the research is like, the 3 psychiatrist reports is being required, and it is to be properly evaluated. And you just cannot give, and these psychiatrists should be professional, and they can't question directly. They will ask you the normal question, because the
Mhm.
person knows that if you will ask them about the crime, what are they going to respond.
So, what if I'm lucid most of the time, free from mental disorder, but at the spur of the moment, I had an episode and I lost touch with reality and I committed a crime? So, can I plead insanity even though I do not have a mental disorder?
You can plead an insanity, but then the burden is on you, that you need to prove that
Right. Right.
what was your object, what was your motive,
Mm-hmm.
and the proper evaluation and
Yeah.
all. And I think so 72 hours they are being kept in a proper, with psychiatrists and all, to evaluate them properly.
Mm-hmm.
Because up it means later, because if you will keep a person from such a long time there, so they will break out, and they will tell you what is the things. That is why a proper evaluation report is also being submitted, because judges are judges, and they will look into your evaluation report, they will look into the pleadings, they will look into everything, ki what one report says, what other report says, what third report says, something similar would have come to the conclusion.
Right. Right. And what if someone has a mental disorder and committed a crime? would they be acquitted because of
Yeah,
legal insanity?
yeah, they will be acquitted. If a person is having a mental disorder, if a person is having that kind of disorder diseases,
Mm-hmm.
like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, major depression, and like what you say, autism and all. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, these are the major disorders,
Mm-hmm.
not small and meager disorders, but major disorders where you have lost your whole mind, like you are not in your senses most of the time. So these
Mm-hmm.
are the only cases where you can plead that you are you are not in your state of mind, you are insane, and that's why you did that.
Mm-hmm.
That is
So,
why the
yeah.
McNaughtan rule was being confined, and we have seen that what happened. The person was in a delusion state of mind that what to do, like killing someone in that fantasy. A normal person would not do.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not just one thing. There are many examples related to it. Like I told you that a person was about to chop the person's hands, thinking that it's a bread. So putting fire on an barren land. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the things which tell you that a why a person would do that. Like you need to question it also, that why a person did that. The main thing is that only intention and the motive, and you just cannot avoid it.
Okay. So, how does a magistrate determine if an accused is suffering from a mental condition?
uh, a magistrate defines it. A person is, I told you now, they need to prove
Mm-hmm.
it to the court, and
Right.
a proper evaluation is being done to them. They need to
Mm-hmm.
properly report it to the court, like local court, superior court, district court. And अगर वहाँ पे भी नहीं हुआ, then they will give an appeal, and
Mm-hmm.
then another appeal that if they rejected it, then appeal goes on and on. So
Mm-hmm.
they have a free hand to apply to it, but it is
Mm-hmm.
the determination, like also your evidence and your proof should be at strong, it should be beyond a reasonable doubt, like an evidence to be proved, it is to be beyond reasonable doubt. You need to provide medication bills. You can make them circular. You can ask the local people also that what is their state of mind, and
Mm-hmm.
also the psychiatric evaluation and all,
Right.
that person was insane.
So,
So
could you
these are the
also,
main.
if I'm the accused, could I also bring my own psychiatrist as an expert witness to testify on my behalf?
I think so. It would be biased, right? Like bringing
Of
your
course, it
own
would be biased.
psychiatrist.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can bring your psychiatrist if you are being taking a medication from that person since a very long time. That
Mm-hmm. Right.
uh,
Right.
this has
Right.
been, yeah, you can call any person as your witness that okay,
Mm-hmm.
this person is here. And also it is the role of a psychiatrist to educate the court more on this, because the court is there to provide the decision, but
Mm-hmm.
they are not, and we legal experts are not that much into the medical terminologies, that what is happening, what is not
Mm-hmm.
happening, and
Mm-hmm.
what are the different stages is there. And the
Mm-hmm.
psychiatrist role is there to educate everyone around them that what is the thing in
Right.
their in proper layman languages, that what is happening with the person, like
Mm-hmm.
how can you educate a court.
Right. Right.
That's why we have professional experts and professional witnesses also we call upon to the
Mm-hmm.
court sometimes, because there's sometimes many cases are there which require the court to educate, because there are some kinds of difficult terminologies and thing, medical thing, sometimes engineering stuffs are also being
Right.
involved. So we are not we are legal experts, we cannot being into more into the that thing. So that's why the psychiatrist role are very important to play,
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
they are the one who educate the court that what is the thing, what is right. Mostly the judges will evaluate the report which they have given. That's why they have been given a proper time to give a proper
Right.
evaluative report and tell us what is this, what is that,
Mm-hmm. Right.
because the court is there to give the decision, but also you need to make them more educated upon all these
Mm-hmm.
things.
What is your specialization and how can one contact you?
My specialization is basically into insolvency and bankruptcy, and more into general corporate
Right.
GC. And if someone wants to contact me, they can contact me via my email, that is nana16mathur@gmail.com. And they can contact me via LinkedIn also. Nana Mathur is my username there also.
Okay. So is insanity produced by drugs a valid defense?
Insanity produced by drugs. Like, it also depends what kind of drugs are you using.
If
And
you're
were you,
prescribed, if you're prescribed
yeah,
medications by a doctor.
yeah, but were you insane at the time? Were you using that medication? Like, what that drugs do to you?
Mhm.
Does that make you, a person would not give you a drugs like you will commit a crime, they will give you a drugs, sometimes sleeping pills kind of a things you give to someone,
Mhm.
or the other kind of drugs are being prescribed. But it also depends what kind of drugs are there.
Mhm.
And if a person has committed drugs in that kind of time, but does a person is in that insane stage that he doesn't know what he or she is doing at the time of medication. Like, if
Mhm.
I have taken some drugs and someone is in my, like, someone is outside, I would not just keep a pistol and then shoot the person.
Mhm.
Like,
Right,
what
makes
was the
sense.
cause of,
Yeah.
yeah, what was the cause of action at that point of time?
Mhm.
What made a person to do that act? you
Mhm.
know was
Right.
the heated argument on conversation begin from whom side, my side or the other person's side?
Mhm.
And if I am into very much into drug, if I am a drug addict, then obviously it would not be go in my defense, because I was the one who was into addiction.
Mhm.
Then there is another kind of thing which will go on.
Mhm.
Insanity and having drugs are like kind of different things, but you can say that, yeah, if a person is on medication, the medication is to make you better. A
Right.
medication won't make you go in the other side.
Mhm.
Also, sometimes we also need to see that if the person who is providing you drugs, what kind of drugs they are, and what was the intention of that person to provide. Sometimes what they will do, that they will say that no, these drugs are helpful, but they are not, and the person is not aware of that drugs. So you
Right.
can plead it before the court that I was not aware, I got to know, and I was in that state of mind, I was insane, I really didn't know. And the
Right.
court will look into all these aspects, and depends upon their discretion, and may happen that you get plea, you will be out of bail,
Right.
you will not get convicted.
Hmm.
So
Right.
these are the things which we need to know. But the main two things are the intention and the motive. And you
Hmm.
need to prove it beyond the reasonable doubt that yes, you are insane. Because
Right.
sometimes your actions defines it. Like, what are your actions? A mother would not throw her own kid in a well, and a person would not just stone pelted her own wife and run. And sometimes there are cases that the people have committed crime, but then they plead, okay, I have not run away from the spot because I'm insane. No, that is also not happens. This is just a plea, because people also contact their lawyers at a point of time. Now everyone is aware that, okay, I did this, tell me what to do.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we will do this. So they
Uh,
also know all these tactics are there.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
The judges are there, the court is not like there,
Uh-huh.
above us to look into that aspect. So that's why they also know that how we play, so they also
Mhm.
know what things to do and what aspects to look at.
Right. Right.
And I guess we have criminal justice things where a woman have killed her husband, and people thought that she is insane and all, but no, she killed it because of the other reason. And there are so many movies and all in kind of all these things, like person is insane and doing all these activities you
Mhm.
know in the criminal justice season 2, people thought that, what is happening with her, why she did that. And there are also other series. There was Guilty Minds, the recently on, I guess it's on Prime or something. In one of the episode, it is being seen that a person was so much inclined in gaming that the person, what they put in head and something they do, but it makes the mind
VR.
go in another way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ha,
Ha ha
yeah,
ha.
the VR thing. And
Ha.
the person in that episode, I've seen that the person was playing video games, and the person killed the auto driver, because not auto, a taxi driver, a cab driver. Why? Because the game said so to do that. And while you put that, it makes your mind go in that way. And even it is that shown that you cannot, the person was not acquitted there.
Yeah.
He was given what you say, he was convicted, he was not acquitted.
I read a
So
story that there was this guy in Ghaziabad. He took crystal meth and he shot his family and he said, I thought it was a game.
yeah, even this gaming culture is so much going into that way that it is very high time. Like everything needs to be balanced. Like everything needs to be kept a check on that what was there. We have seen that what was that game Blue Whale or something.
Yes.
Even that is also happening due to so much addiction and all. And these are all the kind of infants who just sign up for that and do all these things, like dangerous things. These are also kind of a drug addiction. Game is
Mhm.
also kind of a drug addict. You
It
became
is. It is.
addicted to something,
Right.
and it will compel you to do all these things. And why you do that? Because you started remaining depressed in such a long time. You doesn't speak to anyone. You're just so much inclined in your game that what to do, what not to do. You literally lose your all mind because your mind is just going in one direction.
Mhm.
So sometimes these gaming activities are also very, not good.
Mhm.
And who is affecting more? These teenage people and the kids nowadays.
Mhm. Right.
But
Right.
you cannot go away with it. Maybe you will go into juvenile and all, but you will get, you will not get acquitted of it. You will get convicted.
Mhm.
So these are the things which we see, because obviously I have seen that uh, the live examples of this. We see that the person is doing this and that, killing someone in addiction of games and committing crimes and all. But they said that you are not insane. You have your mind. You have your mindset that you know
Right.
what are the
Right.
consequences of it.
Mhm.
If you will kill someone, what will be the consequences of it? You are not a layman. We see that till 13 or 12 years that we see that, okay, the person till
Mhm.
12 years, उससे नीचे के kids are like, okay, we will acquit you. But after that, a person, no, that a 12-year kid know that if you will kill a person with a gun and if you will beat someone with a rod, what would be the implications of it? That's why juvenile care centers are there
Right.
to look after them. So basically, the thing is that you know what are the consequences of it. The
Mhm.
basic thing is that if you doesn't know what is right or wrong, that is a different thing. An insane person wouldn't know what is right, what is wrong, what he is doing is right or wrong.
Right.
He doesn't
That
know
is the
what would be
basic
the
criteria.
nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would be the implications if you will do it. He doesn't know
Mhm.
what he is doing. He has no mind. Nothing is working in proper senses. He doesn't even know how to, like, properly how to make even a finance decisions and all. Not normal finance, but doesn't know that how much a pen is costing. Doesn't able to have that also. Like proper
Mhm.
senses in nahi hai koi. Like
Right.
doesn't know what he is doing and all.
Right.
So these are the kind of major disorders.
Right.
And obviously, at the end, I will really like to say that it is really the psychiatrist who helps the court and who helps us also. Like
Mhm.
these are the one who educate the court, like what is the magnitude of all these things, what is this
Mhm.
disease, what is the person is facing, what is happening, what is the other thing. Their report, their evaluation helps everyone out.
Right.
And that is why this profession, like medical, is being treated as a very noble profession, because they are the one who tells us what is there, what is not,
Mhm.
with
Right.
proper guidance and all to us, so the who are laymen who doesn't even know anything.
Right.
These are the things.
Thank you, Nana, for your insights. It was very wonderful to have a conversation with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Hope to do more sessions with you.
I would love to.
Sure.
I'll stop the recording.